Welcome back to the Freemouse MC YouTube channel, and we are here today at the 2025 Waves and Wheels Festival, a festival about motorcycle culture and surf culture here in Biarritz. And I came with the bike for the occasion, the Bear 650, with my own surfboard attached to the side. And yeah, let me share with you my favorite things about the festival. And first of all, let's get to the festival itself. So, I'm now making my way here over the Waves and Wheels Festival, and this is the main area. You have multiple little events outside of this, like the art ride, which is like an art gallery with really exquisite custom bikes and old motorbikes. Of course, you also have a lot of really nice custom builds here. I already had a look at them at the Royal Enfield stand, and also there's some beautiful Harley Davidsons here. And this is basically the area where you can shop little clothes and everything and little accessories for your bike, which is really nice to just look through here. And behind me over there you see the ocean, where you could also go for a surf. Really nice. These little small market stands were so nice to see because there were loads of like small European businesses put up there that then offered motorcycle accessories and so on. And you also had some vintage stores for old clothes, and also similar to in France they have these places called frapperies that don't just sell clothes but also old things out of metal, or little metal toy cars and emblems of cars and motorbikes, and then also motorbike parts. And they had a lot of similar stuff there as well. And the main festival ground was so nice to see. You had a skate ramp with people skating, food trucks, live music, and also there were loads of custom bikes, which were pretty cool. There was a competition on who has the coolest Honda CB350 custom bike. That was nice to see, with like a bike with a jockey shifter. And then Harley Davidson had a Lowrider S with turbocharger, and also a King of the Baggers bike, which is so cool to see because it's like a weird little niche of motorcycle racing. I love to see it. And I think my favorite custom bike on the main festival ground was the 1980s, 1990s inspired Shotgun 650, basically sports bike build. And I love seeing that because I'm a fan of these kind of bikes, and I expected that to be my favorite because I myself have a Yamaha FZR 1000, and it looks really cool. However, then there was a bike that I was also really curious about how it would be to ride, which is, I think, a really fundamental part of motorcycles at the end of the day, which sometimes feels like it could get lost at the Waves and Wheels Festival. And there was a Guerilla 450 sports bike in a similar style that I really, really liked, also because I have a friend who has a Himalayan 450 with that engine, and he has like over 60 horsepower out of that engine, so it must be really fun to ride like this little sports bikes conversion that they did. However, there were not just custom bikes at the main festival ground. Like, there were so many of them, also so many like old cool nice bikes, a lot of like old Harleys, and a lot of nice Moto Guzzi's. Speaking of Moto Guzzi's, I think the next favorite bike that I saw was by Cafe Machine with a K, because they're from Hamburg. They had a Moto Guzzi at the Art Ride Gallery that looked so nice. In general, the Art Ride Gallery was one of the highlights for me. It had a skate park. It's a skate park that got turned into an art gallery with loads of nice custom bikes, and also some rare old vintage bikes. Loads of bikes from Breath Superior, and also they had nice decorations with like race bicycles and surfboards, because at the end of the day it's also a surf festival, and they had surfboards from Lightning Bolt from Gary Lopez. And short little background info about me: when I was a teenager, I saved up for a Lightning Bolt surfboard and got some help from my grandparents and bought one, and I loved it so much. And then it got stolen out of my car years later, which is a loss I'm still not over about. Like, I need to get myself a board like that again, because I'm still sad about the board being gone, and it's, yeah, not nice. But I got to see them there, which is pretty cool. And speaking of surfboards, the location here in Biarritz with the Côte de Basque is of course amazing. And with me having the motorbike with the surfboard on the side, I also got to take advantage of that and ride the bike to the beach.
Hand tricks, so I ignored my good intention. Called that number anyway. The doctor on the line said she'd get me in the day.
In general, the main star of the festival is not really the bikes per se, but it's the location. So we now arrived in the city center of Beeritz, and I will be getting out the camera to take some photos for the coffee table book. Check out the link in the description for that. And yeah, apart from that, the Waves and Wheels Festival really gets its character from the location here, because a lot of the things that you see at the Waves and Wheels Festival are present here all year round, more or less. You have tons of old bikes, custom bikes, and a lot of surf culture, which is a bit lacking at the festival. However, here in the city you get quite a bunch of it. Nice surf shops, and also a lot of board shapers actually are from Biarritz, and the material that a lot of board shapers in Europe do their boards out of come from here. So yeah, and it's really beautiful. Let's get some ice cream and something cold to drink and sit down for a moment. Another thing that really surprised me on the festival itself was there was Livewire had a stand there with the electric bikes, and I know what you guys think about electric bikes. It's like, nah, whatever. However, they had the Mulholland there, and I looked at it, and it reminded me visually quite a lot of the lane splitter choppers, and I think those bikes are so cool. And with it being an electric bike, having it as a city bike that has that inspiration, that's quite nice. And so I went for a test ride, and I actually was pleasantly surprised, and I really enjoyed it, and I really liked it. And for the first time I was like, wow, this electric motorbike thing is potentially still going somewhere. And like with the cooling fins on the battery, like when the first electric motorbikes came out, I was like, if they could just put like something design wise nice there with like cooling fins, basically like a FDR with an electric motor or something like that. I was so hyped to actually ride that bike, and I was surprised by myself, because I was like, I'm not a fan of electric bikes, and I actually enjoyed that. That was cool, and I also appreciated that it's a bike with an actual name and not just numbers. And Mulholland, with being inspired by the Mulholland Drive in Los Angeles, is actually a pretty cool name. And with the way the mirrors and the dash are set up, it's a nice one, and I was pleasantly surprised by that. There are also a lot of like attractions where you can take part in and ride with other riders. I only had now a spectator pass, but there are events like El Rollo, which was like a flat tracker race, which looked so cool and amazing. I would love to try flat tracker racing at some point. And there was a vintage rally with old enduros and a little mountain race, and also really nice attractions that you were not able to take part in, but they were so cool to see, like the Wall of Death with the motorbikes just riding on the wall in a circle. And it felt so sketchy watching that and having the motorbike go past you like 30 centimeters and feeling the whole wall shake that you were like standing on. And that was pretty cool. And there was also a trials riding, like a dude explained how he's doing it while riding the bike. That was really nice to see. yeah, I really enjoyed the festival. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and like and subscribe. And I hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you guys in the next video.